Thanks for watching Halftime TV. This is Leon Bailey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Hello, blessings, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another episode. And in this one, we're going to provide a reaction to that loss by the Jamaican national team against Curaçao. Now, this game took place down there in Curaçao. And going into this one, when we did the preview and invited the viewers and subscribers to share their opinions on who they thought would win it, most of the folks said Jamaica. As a matter of fact, we ran a poll and we got 1,040 votes. And of those votes, 69% said they expected the Reggae Boyz to come away victors. On the other hand, the remaining 31% said they expected Curaçao to win it. Now, what did we get from this game? Like, how did it unfold? I think the Reggae Boyz were very slow to start. Straight off the bat, we were looking for some semblance of order, some semblance of calm for the first 10 minutes or so. Curaçao, straight off the bat, 5 minutes in, they were settled. They were putting the ball down on the turf, and they were playing the football properly. As far as turf goes, let me speak about that a little bit, because the field on the day was horrible, really. Like, there wasn't any traction there, and as the game progressed, we saw that the Reggae Boyz, they got a little bit more accustomed to playing there, but it wasn't the best of field, if I'm to be honest with you. But that's not an excuse, because both teams were playing on the same pitch, and this pitch is very similar to the pitch that Jamaica played on when they played against Bermuda a couple of well, over a month ago now, and they won that game. So the pitch is no excuse. As far as straight footballing perspective, I think straight out the blocks, the Curaçao team looked the better team. The first 10 minutes, we saw that there was a goal coming, and for those who weren't paying attention or who weren't watching the game, the goal came from the right-hand side as Margarita, he dribbled down, cut inside of Amari Bell, and then played it into Bakuna, who played it one time to Semencia, and he got his shot away. And this one came from about 30, I want to say 30, yeah, I want to say 30 yards or so, 30 yards out. Andre Blake questioning himself this evening, we know for sure, but Comencia, he struck it, and he struck it well, and it basically, yeah, he took a bounce just before it ended up in the back of the net to Andre Blake's right hand side. Didn't stand a chance, or did he? Yes, he did. He had all the chance in the world because of the distance that the ball was coming from, and he may come out and he may say he was shadowed, which we never hear from the goalkeepers, because unless Andre Blake gives an interview and says he was shadowed, we won't hear the reasoning, or we won't hear the rationale why that goal went in. Personally, I think that's a goal that Andre Blake stops maybe 8 out of 10 times. Yeah, 9 out of 10 times Andre Blake saves it. Tonight, that wasn't the case, and he was left flat-footed. Folks at home were questioning what the goalkeeper was doing in that instance. As far as midfield play goes, it was the same thing. Isaac Hayden wasn't on show this evening, and Steve McLaren started Ian Frey. First time I'm seeing him start for the Jamaican national team. He didn't give much really in midfield, and he was in there with Bobby D. Cordova-Reid, who had an injury last time out, got a couple of games at his club under his belt, but it's the same. Bobby Reid hasn't had a good game for Jamaica for quite some time now. And again, it's good to see him back in the setup, but he owes the Jamaican national team a good game. This one was not it. And the Jamaican midfielders, they were overrun in midfield by the Bakuna brothers and Comencia that I mentioned a little bit earlier. So Juninho Bakuna and Leandro Bakuna, both of them paired with Comencia. They had the Jamaican midfielders under control for the entire game. I think Ronaldo Cephas, we've spoken about it time and time again. Ronaldo Cephas, we've spoken about it time and time again, and it's the same case. For the first half of this game, he was non-existent. The second half, he came out with a little bit more purpose, and I presume it's because the coach may have given him a talking to in the halftime break. He came out, he looked as if he was a man on a mission, made a couple threatening runs in the first 15, 20 minutes in the second half, but then he kind of faded away and we didn't really see him until the last part again. But overall, I think Curacao deserved to win. I think Curacao deserved to win. The Reggae Boys, and even in my build up to this game, I mentioned that if they underestimate this Curacao team, they would be punished. And based on what I saw straight off the bat, maybe it wasn't underestimation. Maybe it was a case where the coach didn't prepare the team well enough. Maybe. Who knows? We are not behind the scenes, so we will not know what the reasoning is. We know that there were last minute injuries to the likes of Demari Gray and Isaac Hayden. We didn't see him in there as well. But I think this is a team that Jamaica should be beating. And correct me if I'm wrong, or correct me if I'm expecting too much. But this is a team that Jamaica should be beating, and we've said it time and time and time again. Whenever Jamaica comes up against a good unit, and I put good in air quotes because even a decent unit, once they play team football, Jamaica is in problem, right? Whenever Jamaica comes up against a team that plays team football, Jamaica is in problem, and that was the case here again. And it was the same thing in the Gold Cup where we looked at the names that we were playing up against, and even in some of those games where we're like, okay, like this should be easy. This should be a walk in the park because we have better FIFA ranking, we have better individual players. On the day when it was time to play the football wasn't being played. There are so many different moments where you see those individual players trying to make something happen. And I think too often, off late, the Jamaican individual star players have been the ones who've been bailing us out and like getting results for us and having gotten those results, we then turn around or we walk away from that thinking that the team has made progress or the team is a step closer to where we want to be. So I think that's the misconception, and that's where Jamaican fans and Reggae Boys fans, they've been blindsided or they've been operating with blinders, because whenever the results, and if you don't watch the game, you look at the result and you'll think, yes, Jamaica won by 2 goals to nil or Jamaica won by 4 goals to nil. The team is making progress, and oftentimes that's not the case. Oftentimes the situation is individual players, brilliant players, are coming up with brilliant moments to get results for the Jamaica national team. This time around, Dick Advocat and his Curaçao team, although they didn't have the biggest names, they didn't have the best names. They came out here and they gave Jamaica a proper game. They had better possession than Jamaica for most of the game. I think in the second half, Jamaica kind of grew into the game, and because Curacao had already gotten a goal to their benefit, and they got a second goal in the 68th minute, they didn't really need to do much. And the second goal, it came from Gore, who was a 48th minute substitute from Dick Advocat. So he came on and he ended up scoring. Dick Advocat, he changed both his wingers straight, like 60 minutes in. Dick Advocat changed both his wingers, and those were the what the quick substitutes that he made. He didn't make a substitute until 87 minutes after that, right? So first two substitutes, 46 minute and the 58th minute. So before the 60th minute, Dick Advocat made two attacking substitutions, bringing on Tyrese Noslin and Gore. Gore would get onto the score sheet. Tyrese Noslin looked dangerous throughout as well, and he wouldn't make a substitute after that until the 87th minute. So when he made those substitutes, you know what he did? He said, okay, let's see how this first 15 minutes of the second half goes, because usually that's how coaches operate. Any big coach, if you watch football, you realize any big coach anywhere in the world, the first 15 minutes or the first 10 minutes into the second half. So that's where you always see the changes coming in at the 60th minute mark. That's the sweet spot where a lot of coaches made their changes, because those who didn't do right by the coaches in the first half, the coach says, all right, I'll give you the first piece of the second half to see if you can improve, and if not, then I make the substitute. Because Gore was out warming up for the entire halftime break. I guess the coach spoke to him when they were going down the tunnel, and he was out there warming up. He came on fresh in the second half at about the 48th minute, as I said, and he got on the score sheet at the 68th minute. So just about 20 minutes after being introduced to the pitch, he got onto the score sheet. On the flip side, Shamar Nicholson, he got an opportunity with his first touch on the 61st minute, and he missed that one, directed it wide at goal. He would get another opportunity a little bit later down in the game, and he directed it wide at of goal again. So I think the individual brilliance of the players that Jamaica has at their disposal, it didn't come to their rescue this evening, and that's why big up, big up, big up Richard Royal, big up Jason Haynes, Mindset Media, big up everybody in the comment section as we continue our reaction to the Jamaica versus Curaçao game. This won't be one of those long drawn out videos. No, you already know. This won't be one of those long drawn out videos. We're going to try and keep it as concise as possible. We'll speak to Curacao, then we'll speak to Jamaica, and then we'll wrap it up and invite you, the viewers and subscribers, to share your thoughts. But back to the game, I thought the Curacao team was a good value for money, although I was watching it for free. But Curacao team, they had some good combination plays. The wingers were good as well. They knew when to get the ball across the goal. They knew when to cut it back into midfield. They knew when to dribble down to the byline. They seemed as if they had a plan. They had directions from the coaches. Tyrese Campbell, in the first half, he was Jamaica's most dangerous player, and a lot of those occasions, the decision making wasn't there. It was like, I don't think Bailey Cadamartri had a kick or had a touch in the opponent's box for the entire game, and that's down to his wingers not supporting him. It's the same on the other side with Ronaldo Cephas. He didn't really give us anything in the first half, and that was one of my concerns. And Bakuna, as I had spoken to a little bit earlier, Leandro Bakuna, he's the captain of this Curacao team at 34 years of age, and he's bullying the likes of Bobby D. Cordova, Reed, and Ian Frey out of midfield. Make it make sense, right? 34 years old, Leandro Bakuna, and bullying folks out of midfield. We have Locadia, who looks like he's maybe, what, 200 pounds? Yeah. We have Jurgen Locadia. He is the striker for Curacao, looking like he's about 300 pounds, 200 pounds, and he's causing a lot of problems to the Jamaican defenders. But again, I think overall, as a team, Curacao played some good football, right? Curacao played good football and they deserved to win. The highest ranked Curacao player on the night, however, was the goalkeeper. And I don't think the goalkeeper had too many saves that I'm like, whoa, too many wow saves. But in the second half, as Jamaica was pushing to get back on the score sheet, I think he had a few saves that he had to get in there. And that was, as a result, he was their highest rated player with 8.3 ranking. Next up, we had Comenencia, who got a 7.7, and we had Kenji Gore, who came on the 46th minute and was a thorn in the feet of the Jamaican defenders for the entire time since he came on the 46th, straight throughout. He was the second highest rated player with 7.9 ranking. Bakuna, as I said, the Bakuna paired, Junino Bakuna and Leandro Bakuna, they dominated the midfield, and the Jamaican midfielders, they couldn't get a touch for huge portions of this game. Jamaica's highest rated player was Dexter Lembikisa, playing at right back. He had his work cut out for him. Hansen in the first half, and then in the second half, he had Gore, dealt with most with it. Like I want to say relatively okay, but since the goal came from his side, since the goal came from Dexter Lembikisa's side, I think I would probably have to disagree with him being the second highest Jamaican ranked player. So Ronaldo Cephas actually got a higher rank than him, and that's 7.2 for Cephas's ranking. And I think this ranking that Cephas got was solely based on that second half performance, because in the first half, he was non-existent. But having said all that, I think it's still, I think this loss came at a good time. Good time. It's kind of like a wake up call. Wake up call. if Jamaica was going to lose any of their games, now was the time to lose it, and that's exactly what happened. So they lost to Curaçao 2-0. Goals coming from Comenencia in the 14th minute and Gore in the 68th minute. And as a result, this is what the table looks like. Let me see if I can share the table for you now. So as a result, this is what the table looks like, people. So Curaçao is in first place with 7 points. Curaçao is in first place with 7 points. In second place, we have Jamaica on 6 points. They played 2 games. Well, they played 3 games. They've won twice and they've lost 1. Trinidad and Tobago, courtesy of their win over Bermuda a little bit earlier, it's a 3-0 win over Bermuda. They currently sit on 4 points and in third place. And Bermuda, they have 0 points, yet to register a win in the World Cup qualifiers. They've conceded 10 goals and they've scored twice. Both of those goals coming against Curaçao. So the Curaçao team, they actually concede goals if they're tested. Jamaica didn't test them enough. We weren't as clinical this evening, and as a result, we walk away with nothing. Curaçao, they have a slightly inferior goal difference to Jamaica, but if they continue winning their games, that would not matter, because it would mean they would finish on top of the group. Remember, the first place, the team that finishes first, they qualify automatically for the World Cup. All right, let's see. All right, awful team selection. Howard Tomlinson said awful team selection. Let us know who you'd replace in the starting lineup, Howard. Who you'd replace? Who would you have replaced in the first team, having seen the lineup that the coach sent out? And with Ian Frey coming in, that was something that I said as well, that if this doesn't work out, then Coach Steve McLaren will have one of those tongue-in-cheek moments where he'll have to come out and say, I got it wrong. But let's hear what you, the viewers and subscribers, have to say overall. And I'll do the player rating tomorrow. So look out for the player rating tomorrow. This is just a quick reaction. But overall, I think it was an awful performance from the Reggae boys. I'll give the overall team performance maybe 5.5 out of 10 because the defeat wasn't worse. But 5.5 out of 10 for the team and how they played Curaçao. They deserved the victory on the evening, 2-0. And what that means is they now sit on top of the group. Jamaica's best player on the day, in my opinion, um, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, also, Dujon Richards came on as well in the second half. Dujon Richards came on, got some minutes under his belt. This coach Steve McLaren getting a look on Whisper. A lot of walking. He gave some defensive contributions as well. Tried a few times to get some cheeky passes in, but those didn't work out. Gave away the ball too easy in some instances for my liking. But hopefully in the next game, he will be more rejuvenated and hopefully get some minutes in front of the fans at the National Stadium, because we know the fans at the National Stadium, they love Whisper. So I'm hoping that works out in his favor and he gets some more minutes to make things right. Kaim Dixon looked bright as usual whenever he darted forward. But I think the first half, Tyrese Campbell was maybe Jamaica's brightest player. The second half, he did well for huge portions of the game, but I can't really pick a player to say this was Jamaica's best player on the night. And as a result, I'll turn it over to you, the viewers and subscribers, to let me know who was your best player of the night. Joshawn Anglin had a venomous shot saved by the goalkeeper in the second half too. He looked good when he was introduced. Karai Anderson looked good in patches when he was introduced. So maybe those persons who were introduced to the pitch were trying to make a statement that they should be starting, but we will see in the next game. But I'll leave it at that for now. Halftime TV viewers and subscribers, let me know in the comment section who was your best Reggae Boy player on the night, and what are your takeaways from this atrocious defeat? Well, atrocious performance from the Reggae Boys team. Really awful showing from the team. And let me know what the expectations are going into the next game that will happen on Tuesday. If you haven't done so as yet, go ahead, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I think we can very well see the conversation will continue in the comment section. So keep on commenting, keep on sharing those views. The Reggae Boys have lost their first game of this round of World Cup qualifiers, 2-0 to Curaçao, who now move into first place in the group on 7 points, while Jamaica is relegated to second place on 6 points. Trinidad and Tobago, they won their game a little bit earlier to Bermuda, and they're currently in third place. Reggae Boys, there's still hope for them to finish top of the group because there are still 3 games to go. But let's see what they have in store for us for the next game. Until next time, Halftime TV here saying have a wonderful night. Let's keep the conversation going below. Peace.